Hello, this is Betty from Astrology with Betty, and today I wanted to talk to you about the post-lunar eclipse in Leo and Aquarius. And now that it's over, we're going to talk about, okay, so now what? A little sage, clear everybody's energy. So I know there's been a lot of build-up, a lot of talk about the eclipse, and it was very exciting and cool, the whole blood moon, supermoon, lunar eclipse, big production. And now that it's over, a lot of people are feeling like, okay, great, now what am I supposed to do? So the event, I think, created a lot of expectations and a lot of pressure. Usually in an eclipse, it's not a great time to really make decisions or really culminate your life, because it does serve to disrupt. It's very disruptive. So a good way to use this energy would be to, okay, what came up, because you've got to remember that astrology is all cycles. So this is the ending of a cycle and a beginning of a new cycle. So this is a very fertile time. The energy of an eclipse reverberates out for 6 months after. So you don't have to feel pressured that you don't know exactly what you want, everything isn't all cemented, and you don't know exactly where you're going just yet, because until we have the new moon in Aquarius, which is in a couple of weeks. I have the chart I'm going to put up in a little bit, and we're going to do it live, so we'll see that date. But you still have some time to plant these seeds. I want to talk about the cycles. I wanted to, because there's a lot of amazing energy going on, but I also want to talk about the whole picture. Venus and Jupiter are joining up today, and actually, let's put up the chart so we can know exactly what we're talking about. I'm going to share my screen. Okay. So let's see what we have going on. This is live right now. Jupiter and Venus are together, 16 degrees of Sagittarius, and these are two beautiful. These are the two benefactors. This is great. And in Sagittarius, this is wonderful. Okay, but it's also squaring Neptune. Okay, so we've got a lot of fire here, which is causing a lot of action, a lot of excitement. It's wonderful. So we're going to talk about the positive, but I'm also going to show you what's going on behind the scenes, because you can get carried away and go full speed ahead, and you want to be careful what you commit to right now, because you're starting a new cycle. Okay, and a lot of people have not healed from the ending of the old cycle. So you got to be careful. Why? What are your intentions? You have to check in with yourself. What are my intentions for starting this new job, this new relationship? Am I running away? Am I not processing the old? Because if you do not finish out the old, learn and grow and evolve from that process, you're not going to get a better, it's not going to be good. So you've got to be careful what you plant. If you want watermelons and you plant tomatoes, well, then who are you going to blame when your tomatoes grow and you don't have watermelons? Okay, so you've got to really, really check in, and we still have the time. Okay, Mars is in Aries, trining. Okay, this is great. And this is fire. So fire is action, it's creative, it's let's go. But got Saturn is squaring, okay? And we've got Neptune squaring. So I'm going to take the chart down and I'm going to talk to you. There's a lot of wonderful energy. So I'm not being doom and gloom. Okay, I'm not at all, but I'm going to be practical and I'm going to be realistic so you can make the best use of this energy. And it's the last 8 years. I'm going to unshare. Okay, the last 8 years has really been a test. It's really been, we've got taken away from who we are. There was an 8-year cycle, a 6-year cycle, and so now they're ending, and now they're new beginnings. So this was all very Scorpio. This was all very underworld, underneath karmic, Phoenix kind of going in and dying and being reborn. Now people are starting to feel more like themselves, because you kind of got lost. It was the dark night of the soul. We went into the underworld and now we're reemerging, and there's a wonderful vibe. There's a lot of creative energy, and there's a lot of push. Let's move, let's go, let's do. But if you're not going to close out the old cycle, with grace and compassion for yourself. Now, a lot of people are talking about twin flames, soulmates, and this romantic love with Jupiter and Venus. That's certainly possible. It's beautiful. And we've got Mars and Aries trining it, so it's let's go, let's go, let's go. But you have to remember, okay, Saturn's going to win. Saturn is squaring Mars. This is saying, whoa, okay, this is great. Is this what you really want? Slow down. Are you doing this to distract yourself? Okay, you got to remember Neptune is squaring Venus and Jupiter. Am I deluding myself? Am I, this, you got to also watch out too for escapism, addictions. And escapism comes in many forms. It doesn't just have to be drinks or alcohol or pills, drugs, and stuff like that. It's in too much screen time. It's in distracting yourself with other people. It's in getting into a romance to distract yourself. You got to check in. How does this really feel? Now, this lunar eclipse, this was closing out the cycle in Leo. And it's a wonderful, if you really catch the wave here, this is saying, okay, Leo is all about me. What do myself? What do I love? What makes me happy? What brings me joy? Not in a selfish way, because you can't give what you don't have. Now, the other side of it is Aquarius, which is what we give to the community of ourselves. But you can't give of yourself if you don't know what you are, who you are, what you love, and how you love, and what brings you joy. Because it's in finding that peace, that harmony, that inner child, and falling in love with yourself. This is a great time. Instead of looking for somebody else to fall in love with, or somebody else to make things better, or a job to make things better, or I'm going to move, or I'm going to, what is going to make fall in love with yourself. Be in love with every part of yourself. Falling in love with another person, romantic love, in my opinion, is one of the most beautiful, sweetest parts of getting to be here on Earth and being a human. There's nothing like it. But in reality, what happens when you fall in love is your body releases these hormones that are like a drug. It is a drug. You become addicted to this other person, and they last for about a year. These hormones come out, and you have these love goggles. They say love is blind, because you really do become addicted sometimes. So you've got to be careful before you go and start a new relationship, new job, a new life. Let's make sure that you're doing it from a place of authenticity. Have you done your work? Have you learned your lessons? Have you gone within? Have you forgiven yourself? Have you processed all of the things that have been going on? Have you closed out? And are you running away? Or, and I'm really not trying to be doom and gloom, but a lot of people do not want to feel their feelings. And this is a time where you really need to feel. You cannot escape. You may be able to get away with it in the short term, but in the long term, it's not going to work. You're going to have a life of misery. So you've got to go inward and find that inner joy, that inner child, that inner self. And what makes you happy? When you get up in the morning, is there a spring in your step? Are you happy? Or are you oh God, another day? Are you acting? Leo's the big performer and actor. Are you acting? Are you pretending to be something that you're not for whatever reason, because you can't deal with yourself? Are you running into a situation, person, place, or thing to hide and to hope that things will just magically turn out the way because they won't. It doesn't work that way. You've got to do the work. So now what I'm inviting you to do is do your work. Yes, get excited about things. Yes, go out and start new projects, start new adventures, meet new people, get it going, start getting your soil ready, but you don't want to put any seeds in just yet. You want to get that soil ready. You want to go out. Don't be careful, because we're just getting out of a cycle. It wasn't very easy. We can have an opportunity now to be really joyful, really happy, and really have an amazing life. But you've got to be careful. Don't settle. Don't rush. This is a big deal. You know, you don't go out and buy the first house that you look at. You don't go marry the first person you date. You know, maybe sometimes it works out that way, but, you know, don't settle. Don't trick yourself, and don't try to trick anybody else. You know, ask yourself before you get into a relationship, am I doing this because I'm desperate? Am I doing this because I don't want to be alone? Am I doing this because I can't stand to be by myself? You know, am I taking this new job because I think it's going to magically be better? Because wherever you go, there you are. If you don't change yourself, nothing else is going to change. So this is a great time. Now take this next week or two. We have the reverberations of this, you know, when the moon is eclipsed, that's our subconscious. It was shaken up. What's in there? What, you know, be honest with yourself. Am I happy with the decisions that I made? Am I happy with the action that I take? Have I let things get away from me that I wish I would have handled differently? Because this cycle is ending. If you have something to say, if you have something you want to do, if, you know, do it, say it, because the door is closing and it's not going to open back up again. It's a whole new world. We've gotten to this point now where, especially since the Venus retrograde, September, October, things have changed. And it's bittersweet in a way, because there's a lot of growth and there's been a lot of finding who you are, but it's also a sorrowfulness. It's like a graduation. You know, when you graduate high school, it's exciting and you have a whole new world to go and jump into, but it's also sorrowful to walk away from that time in your life. So that's kind of like what's going on right now. There's you know, it's bittersweet. So it's time to really make sure you're on the path that you want to be on. Don't fool yourself. And with Saturn, Saturn doesn't really let you get away with it. You can't get away with this. How do you feel? Are you happy? Because this energy is saying, be happy. Be who you are. You can't give what you don't have. People fall in love. You know, when you're in love, you really, it's actually very selfish. You're in love with the way that person makes you feel when you're with them. Anytime you do anything, and if you really, really bring it back to the core, it's selfish. Giving to other people, doing great things. You know, we do things because they make us feel good, because they make us happy. So, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's what this Leo eclipse has been all about. What makes you happy? And then do that and share that with the world, but you can't give what you don't have. If you don't have joy and you don't have happiness and you're not content inside, you're not going to find it in you're not going to find it in another person. You're not going to find it in anything. If you don't have it inside of you, everything that you see outside of you is a reflection of what is inside of you. There is nothing outside of you that is of any good to you. Everything, if you don't have it inside, if you're not joyful, if you're not satisfied, if you're not happy, if you're not, you know, you've got to love yourself. You've got to trust yourself. You've got to believe in yourself, and you've got to honor and respect yourself. And you're going to respect yourself enough to walk away from things that don't serve you. So this is an amazing time. Yes, there's a lot of potential to bring in new relationships. There's not a lot of opportunity for a whole new life, a whole new world. And so, yes, this is coming. But what I'm inviting you to do is to be careful. Don't rush this. This is a big time. You don't want to rush this. You want to make sure that what you're doing is something that you want to be doing for at least the next 8 years, because we're starting a new cycle. Now, I also want to let people know that this doesn't mean that you have to end your relationships or quit your job, because what it means is things can transform. Relationships can transform. Situations can transform. So that's why I'm inviting people is, do you need to say anything to anybody? Do you check in with yourself? Be honest with yourself. Is there anything that you need to do? Because things are changed. They'll never go back to the way that they were. Take this opportunity, check in with yourself, make sure that you are starting down the right path without the ghosts of the past, without the ghosts of the past. There's a song by U2 called Walk On. I've been listening to that a lot, and I feel that that song is really perfect for the energy that's going on right now, certainly since September, October. You know, closing 2018 was a real doozy, but things are looking up. But there's going to be a lot of work that we need to do. So the thing is, make sure you're doing what you love. If you're doing what you love, you don't work a day in your life. There is a lot of potential to bring in new, like I said, new romance, new love, new adventures, a whole new life. But with that Neptune, now it could also, you know, with Neptune, let's talk about the positive. This is also cosmic love. This is magic. This is, you know, there's nothing more beautiful than a positive Neptune. But the negative Neptune is pretty scary. So just make sure you're not deluding yourself, deluding anybody else. It's lying. You know, the negative is lies. It's deceit. It's deception. And whatever you put out, you get back. There is no free ride. Whatever you put out, you know, whatever is really in your true heart, whatever your intentions, your true intentions, whatever you're doing, they come back to you. So make sure that you are acting from a pure heart. Leo, pure heart. Now it's beautiful that it's closing out. Now we're going into the Cancer North Node, because now it's all from the heart, from love. So this is a time to we found out who we are. We found our way back to ourselves. And now how do we use this? How do we use this part of ourselves to nurture the world, to be loved, to have, you know, everything that we right now is such a fertile time. You can have everything that you want. There's no reason, but you have to have faith, and you have to have a pure heart, and you have to be acting out of integrity and not out of fear. And so that's very, very important. Uranus is going to be going into Taurus. We're going to have a lot of Earth, which is great. It's a little heavy. It can be a little boring, you know, but you're going to, that's the Earth. It's fertile. So that's going to happen around March. And then we're going to have Mars going into Taurus. So that, you know, there's a lot of energy here. We've got all this Capricorn, a lot of Earth. This is really a time to make things real here on this plane. So I guess that's pretty much what I wanted to say. You know, Chiron is going to be ending out of Pisces. So this is a time where, you know, it has been very confusing. It's been challenging. You know, the cycles that have been going on, we've closed out a 30-year cycle with the Saturn Pluto. We've closed out a lot of cycles. So this is really a new beginning. And so don't worry if you feel a little confused or a little overwhelmed or a little uncertain, because it's new. Everything is new. This is a new chapter. This is a whole new book. It's not even a new chapter. This is a whole new book. So it's going to feel weird. Anything that we start to do that's new is going to feel weird. But it's really all how you look at it. It's exciting. And you can make it anything you want to make it. So make sure that you do the work. Feel. You know, there's been loss, there's been transition, and you don't get to just hop back and forth between, you know, you've got to feel it. You've got to finish it out. And like I said, some things are bittersweet. And there's, you know, if you don't integrate, you got to take the time to integrate and recalibrate. You know, that's what you got to do. You can't just go from one situation into another situation. It doesn't work that way. You know, we're not actors in a TV show. You know, you don't just take a new role and, okay, this is me now. You've got to really integrate and take the time, learn the lessons, and you know, don't run away from a career. Think that you're going to be happy in a new career. Don't move to another state. Think, well, I'm going to be happy here, because you've got to remember, wherever you go, there you are. You can't get away from yourself, and you don't want to get away from yourself, because this is a mantra that I love, and I invite you guys to try it. I know it sounds a little weird, but I want you to look into the mirror, or you can sit down. You don't have to do the mirror. I like to do the mirror. You just say over and over again, I am all that ever was. I am all that will ever be. Because you are. You are all that ever was. You are all that will ever be. All that you are is an infinite being of light. Everything that you see is just a projection from you, for your soul. We're all here learning our lessons. We're all here to help our brothers and sisters, but we're all reflections of each other. And So just go forth, enjoy, be happy, be peaceful, be kind, and be true to yourself. And don't delude yourself. Yes, there's a lot of wonderful opportunity here. There's a lot of fire, and that gets us excited, and it's creative, but it's also a lot of ego. And it's also, you know, you got to check in. So check in with yourself. You know, this eclipse, we're still feeling the energy. It was rough. People feel funky. It's, you know, it's uncomfortable. Don't worry if you feel that way. It's just a moment. You know, let the moments come and go. And remember, moments are just moments. They don't define us. It's okay to feel scared. You know, the energy is going to be calming down. You know, we're going to have the moon is going to go into Virgo. That's a great time to get down to it. You know, let's be realistic. Okay, so there is a lot, like I said, with the Sagittarius and the Aries. I mean, this is beautiful. Mars and Venus is conjunct Jupiter. I mean, these are the cosmic lovers of Jupiter. This is a huge benefactor. This is grace. This is romance. This is, you know, this is fun. This is really lucky, and it's beautiful. You gotta remember, Saturn's involved, saying, are you sure? Are you sure? Are you sure? If you're not sure, if this doesn't light your fire for real, now don't, you know, because sometimes it's hot, it's passionate, you know, it's lusty, and that's great. So go out, have fun, you know, have a good time, but don't commit, don't set your seeds down into the soil just yet. Make sure that what you're doing is something that is going to pay benefits for a very, very long time, because the potential now is to lay a very firm foundation for an amazing future. So just be careful. Don't invest in a bad investment. Don't be silly. You know, and again, what I was trying to say is that Mars and Aries, it's great. It's taking action, but it's also running ahead without looking. And I love Aries. I am an Aries sun sign. I'm not putting it down. Okay, it's got a lot of beautiful qualities, but I know I am an Aries sun sign. Aries can be, you know, brash, and I just want to do this now, and let's go and kick the door in, and, you know, don't do that. Don't do that, especially when it comes to finances or love or your home, any big decisions. Check in with yourself. You don't really know exactly how you feel yet, because things are still closing out. We're in that cycle. Things are closing and beginning. Don't rush. There's no need to rush. Everything that you need, you have. Everything comes to you at the perfect time. Don't rush. All right, I wish you guys all of the best. You want to get a reading, it's a wonderful time. You can contact me through my website, astrologywithbetty.com. And thank you so much for watching. I also started an Instagram channel. It's Astrology with Betty. If you want to go like that and follow me, I'm going to be offering a contest on there. I'll make another video and put the details in there. But I wish everybody the best, and please, please, please make sure you love your seeds before you put them in the ground, because they're going to be yours. So enjoy this time and have a great time. And until the next time, I wish you well.